What up, guys? This is Casey Israel again, and this is a special edition video. I just got done doing my recent pickup video, and when I was actually doing these, taking out the doubles, I was like, God, look how awesome these cover arts are, and out of all these, quite frankly, the best shaped box out of the four I picked up was this Zelda Revenge. It's so amazingly in great shape. The only blemish is right there, and I think that was caused by me trying to use a butter knife. I mean, it even has. Let me try to open this. Like, has the manuals, and I'm not talking about the manual, but there's like almost looks like a map behind its cartridge. It's kind of hard. I don't see it on camera. It's kind of deep right there, but it looks like the map well folded back up. And I just realized, no, I wouldn't say just realized, but it's amazing. That game says made in 94, so 26 years old. How great shape that box is. It's amazing how many of these box NES games survived over the years. I mean, when I grew up, I didn't think about it. It's like, cool. I just ripped them open and just got to the game. I didn't think about holding on to the box because the box was packaged. I mean, yeah, people do that now, but back in the day, I mean, unless you knew collecting back then about, how people collect Star Wars stuff. I mean, it shocks me when I still, when I found a buttload of these Intellivision games in their boxes, and same thing with these Atari games. I mean, these are supposed to be just packaging, but it's amazing how well the cover art is. It's so amazing. Even games that been made for a canceled game, like California Raisin, that's a canceled game that finally got leaked out, where someone made a box to make it look like a real Capcom box because it was made from Capcom. And then, gosh, I mean, systems like the Studio 2, how the box, I had the box. I mean, goodness gracious, the CDI. I'm like, how's all this survived over the years without, especially look at the CDI box. You figured how plain this box looks. You figured this would have been out into the trash. You never thought this would survive through time. I'm like, I can understand the Odyssey 2. I always say the reason why the Odyssey 2 seems like anytime you come across this, you always see the box, because I believe the box is so badass looking. It's hard to throw it away. I mean, I think right around when the Dreamcast, people maybe started thinking about, oh, maybe we shouldn't throw this stuff away. I mean, because some of this, like how U-Force and this freaking Power Pad survived, and even all these Pong clones boxes. I mean, goodness gracious, I can understand Sega Genesis cases because they're cases. They're meant to hold your games. You're meant to hold on to it. And I don't understand why people toss away their Sega Genesis game case because they're made for it. I always kept my game cases for the Genesis because, one, they were cool. Two, to me, they were not packaging. They were cases. They were kind of like a getting ready for the CD cases. Where now, I do have some loose games that are CD games, but when I do buy my CD games full retail, I never get rid of the case. So I don't know how people do that unless they straight up steal them. But it's just amazing. I mean, even some of this stuff, like earlier this year, I came across this VMU, and this is some old nude stock that finally was found and released into the wild. But it's amazing. It's how all this stuff survives. I remember back in the several years ago, there's a flea market. I don't think it's there no more. I heard it closed. It was somewhere in between Allentown and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It looked like a big warehouse building, maybe it's a warehouse kind of building. There's another big flea market in Allentown, but not the one with the wrestling stuff, memorabilia on the second level. Not that one. This is a different one. This is in between, like I said, Allentown and Bethlehem, but more closer to Allentown. But there's a vendor, and there was a kid selling boxes, NES boxes. It was like, I knew by then. I was like, well, I thought I knew back then. I mean, they are a little pricey, but they're not as pricey as I thought they were about these game boxes. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, you never see the game boxes, so you figure he's going to ask for an arm and a leg for these boxes. So I told him, no, I'm not into getting boxes. And I think what all started for me with all this was Super Mario Bros. 3 box when I picked it up at a flea market. I could have also picked up Tetris that same day, and I should have, but I think I just didn't want to spend. I think they were asking 10. That was a good deal, even though I could turn around and sell the game. But yeah, this woman was selling the Super Mario 3 box with, there was a game in it, but it was not Mario 3, it was Mario 1. I was like, well, this is not the actual game. Can we split them up? And like, yeah, just pay $5 for the box. I'm like, okay. And then it's just kind of spread throughout. I mean, later on, I know I picked up this one at St. Charles. And really, I don't know much that was here. I know I picked up RC Pro-Am. That is in a bad version. I need to get another version. And my weasel just popped the door open. Somewhere. There it is. The RC Pro-Am. I think I got that for like a couple bucks because how... and I think I got the game with it. But the box was in horrible shape. But, after that, most of this I did pick up when I came back to Oklahoma. And, like, inside the first month, I came across a bunch of these black box games. And no, these are not them prices right here, because these were game cases, protective cases I put on the more expensive boxes to cover protect them. So I did not pay that $29 for Wrecking Crew. But yeah, I picked up a bunch of these black boxes games when I was back, to the point where when I saw also TMNT2, I was at the time I didn't have a job, and I was like, fuck, I want to get this, but I can't spend another $20 to get this one. So, and that's kind of where I run rampant with boxes. I mean, before all that, I only had my Wii U box, my 360 box, and my 360 box was just had a bunch of stuff in it that I put it in the closet just to hold manuals and cords and stuff like that. But I didn't have none of this until, actually I picked up the pods when I was in Pennsylvania. I got this one when I was in Pennsylvania, the Odyssey 2 and the Atari 7800 and the Zaxxon box. I was in Pennsylvania. The U-Force I picked up in Pennsylvania. Knights 3D controller box in Pennsylvania. The Achimax. I'm pretty sure we got the Interactor in Pennsylvania. So some of this was in Pennsylvania, like a lot of these Pong consoles was in Pennsylvania. That was in Pennsylvania. My brother-in-law actually bought this for, I think he paid $25 or maybe $50. But I was like, I got the Genesis, but I was kind of egging him on to get it so we can get it in the household. But when we left, he left it. So I was like, well, he bought it, but he left it. So I was like, I guess it's mine now. And then I also picked up the NES box. I picked up Super Nintendo later on. I mean, in this past year, but a bunch of this stuff, yeah, it's just crazy how much of this just grew after going to that flea market with that kid trying to sell me game boxes, where I was afraid at the time about, I just thought they're super expensive. They're going to be just as much as the game or more to get the box. I mean, shoot. Yeah, I mean, I picked this one up. We picked this up in Pennsylvania, but lately I picked up this PS3, the Xbox, the Green Halo edition. There's a sports one behind it, and there's an Xbox One box. I mean, a lot of this was in Oklahoma. So, yeah. I mean, pretty much, I blame that kid to get me addicted to box collecting, but I kid. I enjoy getting boxes just as much as getting the games. So I actually thank the kid if I ever see. I'll probably never see him because he's in Pennsylvania and Oklahoma, but I'd like to thank you for getting me into this. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.